Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? Girl, right, Karen? That's a whole bop, ain't it?
Listen, okay, we gonna
It's a
start off
whole
good.
bop.
This what we doing. It's the new year. Thank you so
Shoulder
much
shaking
for
all the
tuning
way
in.
in. What?
Thank you for so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend Karen Sims on this evening. I know you're looking at us like, what's really going on? And we're going to get into that a little bit later on in the show. But first and foremost, y'all already know what it is. It's all love over here amongst the tribe. So I first and foremost want to say thank you to each and every one of you for continuing to tune in week after week. We appreciate you. And of course, without you all, there is no us. I also want to go ahead and take the time to acknowledge our replay viewers, those of you who may not be able to hang out with us live. I know you're going to make some time, perhaps while you're cooking your dinner, perhaps while you're folding your laundry, whatever it is you do, and you make the wise decision to go ahead and click the play button, whether it be on one of our YouTube channels or here in the Unhinged with Tilted Halo group where we interact with y'all daily. We appreciate you. Each spin counts, and you already know what it is. We building, we're growing, and we are running after every single area code and zip code that we have access to. So, before I get into the rundown, what's good, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads? How you doing tonight?
I am doing well tonight. You know, it's an interesting thing when you kind of have dots, and all of the dots kind of run appropriately. So that's all I'm gonna say. So I'm in the place because all of the dots ran appropriately. So we all the way into this new year, and hopefully those of us who've made commitments are keeping to those commitments. I don't like resolutions, but we
Mm.
committing to be better versions of ourselves every single day. And you know how you help yourself do that? Because you press play, honey, you already better. So, you know, I'm excited about the people who are joining us, Tilted, and that we get to share some love, joy, and laughter in this next couple of minutes with folks who we know we hear it all the time. What the world needs now, what is love? And so we're here to share some of that with you all.
I know that's right. And I know y'all probably noticed I started bopping because, just about every phrase that comes out of just about anybody's mouth, I got a song for just about everything. And I just heard Fabulous in my head. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. Baby, I'm
Oh,
good all by myself. But Karen, you make me better. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all know I'll flip a lyric in a heartbeat. Don't I got the
well, you know,
Spotify on
she'll take me somewhere with that, and then I'll be around here gangsta and whatnot. You know, I'm trying to be like, oh, thank you, and be out here because we're professionals. We're not acting like it, like we're professionals. We are professionals. So anything that we do, definitely we're doing it with excellence. But super excited for the day. How's this second week of the new year rolling in for you, Tilty?
Girl, it's rolling in a little bit better. You spoke about those dots that magically fall into place, and so you can meet each task in a timely manner. Today I actually took a moment and inhaled and thought about everything I have on my plate, and I had a moment where it was like, "Whew, that's a lot." But as I was sharing, this thought with one of my coworker friends, I said to her, I said, "But you know what, baby? I'm built for it, or it would not be on my plate." So that was the perspective I took, as opposed to embracing those thoughts that breed anxiety and
Absolutely.
frustration. And the next thing you know, you run around here running your mouth complaining, making God out to be a liar. And that's something that we practice not doing. We have faith,
Yes.
and faith triumphs over fear and anxiety every single time. Again, I conveniently had the opportunity to share with a customer at the store the other night, and I shared, please don't say that, because fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real. And not only was it a word that she received, it was received well by the young lady that was standing next to her, who audibly replied, "You know what? Oh, I like to use it."
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, you can take that one for free. I'll charge for everything." That word you can take with you for a lifetime. So yeah, you already know what it is. We're gonna get into a little bit of Merrily Down the Stream on tonight, y'all. We are going to revisit that segment, you know, the views from the petty few, because I got some things to say on tonight.
I
And of
know.
course, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about a little bit of this, a little bit of that when we get into what's really going on. But you know how we love to do things and embrace our supporters and embrace our listeners. So you know I gotta start tonight with a fan out shout out,
Come
Karen.
on. Who are we shouting out this evening?
Lord have mercy. Can we get a drum roll, please?
We working on that sound.
We working on that drum. We working on that sound. But tonight's super fan out shout out goes to the dapper deacon himself. Or has he been elevated to minister at this point? In any event, shout out to you, Leon Chandler. Go on, give that
I
man a
don't know
round of
why I'm gonna
applause.
go on with you and say minister. I'm gonna say minister.
Yeah, I'm
If
gonna say minister as well
it ain't
because
there, it's coming. That's for sure. If it ain't there,
yeah, I believe I seen him out with his collar. You know, so pardon me if I miscalled your title on tonight, brother. But I just want to let you know, of course, many of you who interact with us daily, you saw that I posted that the man earned a badge as one of my top fans, one of our top fans and followers. And I tell you, Deke, and I'm gonna still call you Deke. I know you're a minister. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all call me in the church office. I know why I'm being chastised. But Deke has been a supporter since day one. When I first put my one foot in front of the other, building the Tilted Halo brand intentionally, I promise you, Deacon Chandler showed up. That's because that's who he was. You know, Deacon Chandler showed up and pressed like. Deacon Chandler showed up and participated in conversation. He even shared quite a few laughter emojis because y'all already know part of why my halo is tilted. You never know what might come out of my mouth. So, Deacon Chandler, we appreciate you here at the Unhinged Live Show. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate the power and the prestige that you walk in. And most definitely, we appreciate the representation of the kingdom that you bring each and every day. But y'all heard me call him Dapper Deacon. Can I remind y'all that this brother is smooth? Let me just stop right there. I can't hear you, Karen.
you gotta say it all the way because I heard smooth, and we know that Dapper Deacon is smooth.
Oh,
So
that's right, with the V.
we gotta get
He's
that V.
smooth.
Smooth.
He is most definitely smooth. All right. So yeah, is there anybody you would like to acknowledge? Because it can't all be about me and who I see flowing through in my camp, in our camp. You know what I'm saying?
You know, some of the folks y'all know, y'all be riding with us all the time, and I gotta give a super fan shout out to our sister Val Marie Higginbottom because you know she be rolling with us. Even if you don't see her in the comments, she sure gonna make sure that she's not gonna miss a playback to make sure that she is riding with us, and we are still supporting her and her new project that she just released right before Christmas. So Black Friday, she released some new music, and because I'm a friend slash stalker sometimes, I know she's in the studio again. So we want to give her a super shout out to also encourage her to keep on keeping on. You know, we got a lot of love around the folks who kind of rally around us. So super excited to see what might be dropping in her spirit for an extension of more work to come.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Val Marie. Y'all saw the pictures posted. I was right alongside my sister yet again as we attended the worship concert that was held here locally. She was, you know, she's always been one of my favorite praise partners, and a sister for and is a sister for life. So look, we don't want to hold this up because it's a whole lot of talk tonight. And the time is moving real fast tonight, Karen.
Oh, why? Why though?
I don't know. I got a question for you, Karen.
Okay.
You know I got to throw a monkey wrench in the system because
Of
that's how I
course you
do.
do. That's how you do.
when you hear it said, you have the right to say something, but it may not be the right thing to say. What comes to mind?
Every first thought I ever have. Uh, we're just gonna put it right out there. If
Put it
I
out there, boo.
That's the one. And so, it's funny because it's not just that it's not the right thing to say. Sometimes it's just not the right time to say it. And so we hear people, like you said, they're gonna call you into the office. We're not gonna do that openly and reprimand, but sometimes you gotta pull people to the side. Why? Because that does show some care and love, but it's also a skill that we gotta learn how to do. We have to learn how to do it. Because my first thought is, you know what? And I do this with email. I have learned, let me say that. I've learned to do this with email as well. Because we be coming up in here like, per my last email,
Dot, dot, dot. Oh, I'm sorry.
it may or may not be considered professional if you start your email off with, first of all, that might be a problem. I'm just saying, consider some things before you put them out there. So I think that's an amazing question. It's where I live every single day, because if it came to my mind and out my mouth, it's going to be a whole problem. I know it already. It's going to be a whole problem. So think about it before you let it loose. That's my whole kind of thought on that. So what came to your mind for you to share that with me when you know
You know it
that
always
if I'm
starts with me.
thinking
Girl, there's a 97.9% chance that I'm going to say it. And I, like you, have gotten a whole lot better at it, Karen, especially, via email. Because years ago, I was once told that I sound very cold-hearted in an email. Just ain't showing no love. I'm not typing in all caps, but it's just the way I put my words together. And you did touch on that. So over the years, as I've grown professionally and personally, I have learned to just let my words drip as much honey as possible. And I'm in a season now. I'm still in the season where I'm learning to just be quiet and really embracing and understanding that sometimes no response is the absolute best response. I wouldn't even say that I'm learning. Let's say I'm reestablishing, because y'all know I'm a regular page on the Facebook. I have never changed my cover sheet. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." And the first part is for me, be still. So I have to remind myself to still my tongue, because I can shoot darts. I can shoot hollow point bullets with my words. You heard me? But is that glorifying God? Just because I have the right to say something doesn't mean it's the right thing to say. And the current society that we're in, I was really, this came back to my thought process because of cancel culture. All right. And how quick we are to dismiss someone because of their faults, and how quick we are in our own humanness to judge people because we may not be where they are. We get Hasidity and high and mighty because we've grown to a different place on the path of life than someone else, as opposed to going back and showing love, as opposed to going back and again, letting our words drip honey and watering people with positivity, as opposed to being that neon lit reminder that they are out of pocket. That's not always our job.
mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
not our job. So
I,
that's
I
where the
gotta,
thought came
I gotta
from,
take a
Karen.
moment. I gotta take a moment, Tilted, and remind our watchers, wherever you watching from, make sure you go ahead on over, if you get the message, to go on over to StreamYard so that we can see your name and your face. Brandy said somebody told her today, if keeping it real was a person, it be her. Listen.
Girl, we'd be crowded. We'd be crowded in that picture.
We would be crowded. We would be crowded. But I love what you said. There's a time, there's a place, and sometimes it's a season for us to, figure out when do we need to have this conversation. And this is sometimes a sign of wisdom, because we would always hear people say, you don't have to fight every battle, you don't have to show up for every fight. Some of the challenges that we have in our life, we didn't mean for this to turn into twisted threads and tilted halo
TED
coaching
talk. This our
moment.
little TED talk.
But listen, we didn't mean for it to go all the way there, but sometimes we got to take the moment and say, sis, bro, let me, can I holler at you? Listen, that's how, let me holler at you over here. Sometimes we not sure what it's going to be. And I love it because as you were talking, Tilted, I'm reminded that a lot of times in my family, you never know what's going to come out of one of our mouths. Just know it's going to be entertaining. If we all in a room together with me and all my offspring, you shall be entertained, but you don't know what's coming out of our mouth. And here's the significance with that. All of us have some type of higher education training in communication. I got 3 kids that got directly communication degrees, but honey, about that grace that you was talking about.
My
Listen,
babies.
you
My
can't learn
babies.
that. We said we was gonna add a segment, what you should have learned in Sunday school. That
Right?
part. So they learned it in the school books how to communicate. They put the participles and the adjectives. They can put everything together. Listen, they'll knock your socks off speaking. But if you step on their blue suede shoes, I'm just not sure what's gonna come out on that side. So when we put that list of things you should have learned in Sunday school, win the hush, honey. That's that literally. That's one of the things. I don't know if they cover that in Sunday school no more, but we need to be that. So what we got? We got this word in here. Let our words be seasoned as with salt, that it edifies the hearer. I don't know. Step on them blue suede shoes. I ain't sure what edification gonna come from that. So we praying for all.
Somebody gonna be asking for a GoFundMe, a Venmo, or Zelle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We yet praying. We yet
We
praying.
yet praying. We
Yes,
yet praying. Yes, we are, Karen.
we are for all of us, because it seems like we got a whole tribe full of us.
No, I'm like, gang is in the building. How y'all doing?
Yes, we appreciate
Y'all be
it.
nice to people this year. How about that?
Listen,
Because I'm talking to me when I say that. Be nice to people. Or as I shared with my brother Denard Brown in service on Sunday, when I had the opportunity to greet him, I said, you know what? I'm finna act right this year. You know, I didn't.
it is
That's
a
a goal. It's a
Well, I'm
goal.
gonna say this: it is a goal that may or may not be contingent on how many of y'all are fasting and praying. You know that list when the scripture say, and these things only come by fasting and praying. I believe that me acting right is a benefactor of that. So if y'all ain't out here fasting and praying with me, I don't know what you gonna get. But I really, it's a thing. It is a thing, not just because we are queen ages. We're women of a certain age, and we want to be out here being good representatives, but it's also difficult sometimes because of what we know. How about that?
Mm,
Like, because the
mm.
wisdom that we've attained with age, we know that we really want to say, if you don't carry yourself over there and dot 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 all the rest, but
Right.
like you said, they might not know we OGs, and so they might come back
Triple, triple.
that comes back and it'd be like, oh goodness, I thought that part of me was dead and buried. Now I got to resurrect literally that part of my life to handle something. So that wisdom to know when to speak, how to speak, to extend grace in the fruits of the spirit. We ain't listen, you never know which direction we gonna go into when you press play on an unhinged live. But today we're just here to encourage you all. Be kind to everybody. And you know what my best statement is? Start with you. Because
Yes.
as you are being kind to you, you actually give the blueprint to other people around you to know, okay, well, I shouldn't come to her with that. This year, one of my goals, ain't no resolutions, one of my goals is not only to complain less, but to also remove myself from complaining circles.
Oh,
Somebody gonna be mad at me, so don't worry about buying me no
let
gifts.
them.
buy my own gifts because I already know y'all gonna be mad at me before the year over. I ain't even going for that.
Let
Don't
them.
even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry
Let
about
them.
it. I'm gonna buy my own gifts. So
Mm.
I don't have to feel like, well, if I offend them, they gonna walk off. Y'all gonna walk off this year. Because in the middle of your complaint, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna need to head out. And you be like, well, what happened? No, I may or may not give you an explanation. You know, I'm just gonna say, you know what? I'm sorry. We gotta put a pause on
No, we're
this.
just gonna put the church finger up and walk out. See, that's what
This is a power. We never knew the power. Maybe you did. Did you know the power of this finger?
girl, I'm receiving this word. It's a word. Go on and release the power of the church finger. Those of you who don't know about the church finger, because we know and understand that many of our followers and supporters aren't necessarily church. So the power of the church finger, let me, just give you a basic history of the church finger. Whenever you are in service, it's a way to say, excuse me, and you kind of leave a room and you hold the finger up until you pass the threshold of the sanctuary, the fellowship hall, wherever it is you may have been. You lift up the finger. It's a powerful release. Hey, listen, walk away. You don't have to participate in every conversation that you are invited to. Do I need to say that again for the people in the back, Karen?
I feel like you do.
You don't have to participate in every conversation that you are invited to. Because look, out of the abundance of the heart does the mouth speak. And you're telling on yourself every single time you open your mouth. And sometimes you may not be quite right internally. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Literally the best. Make sure it's the right. I love that we get in lessons so that we know which finger is the church finger. Clearly,
yeah, it's this one. The index.
Somebody may or may not.
We're giving you a visual. This is the church finger, not that other one that y'all like to fly.
We realize that this may or may not be inclusive because maybe you don't got the rest of these fingers. Maybe you don't have 5. But just make sure that when you putting your hand to your face, whatever the closest finger to your nose, like touch your nose with the finger and then put the rest down. So if you got
girl, don't do that. What if somebody missing their index finger though? Don't do that.
Okay, listen. What is
put the nub up. They're gonna put the nub up.
They're gonna put the nub up. So whatever's close to your nose, that's what you lifted. God will honor this church finger. Okay, we inclusive over here. Don't you listen. Whatever it is, maybe your fingers ain't manicured and you don't want to put them up there. I don't know. But I thank you, Brandy, for the lesson so that we not in the church getting kicked out because we done put up the wrong finger. Listen.
Come on, say so.
That's a whole nother conversation, and I can't help you. Okay, don't call me. Don't go over there to the church office and tell them what Karen said. Put up the finger, and I figured I.
No, we said the index fingers, and it is there in the comments. Thank you, Brandy.
The pointer, and you got 2 of them. We don't care which one. It don't matter which one. But again,
you may want to use your right hand because that's the hand that represents power.
All right, man. Listen,
okay.
And remember, we pointing upward. When you put your church finger up, this is why we know the power of the church finger, because we pointing directly to God. Then that's usually me. Listen, I'm asking to be excused from him. The rest of y'all, y'all know what this is. But this between me and him. Excuse me, Lord. The way my bladder is set up, I'll be right back. That part. Whatever you use.
He knows what that finger means. He knows it.
Use your power for good. That's all we want to remind you. Use your power for good. Whatever you using your words for, your pointer finger, we're gonna be in, aka index, all of that stuff. We want y'all
index all day.
Loving life. That's it. No problems. Don't send nobody over here to talk about something we said, because I'ma have amnesia. You better know that.
No, and we got the replay too, because I like to play stuff before I have to check somebody. I'm like, excuse me, hold on, let me just listen to this real quick.
That's true.
Now it could be whatever. But anyway, let me get off of that. Okay.
That was a nice.
Listen.
Slide. You slid off of that real good.
I had to slide up off of that because I will go there. That's that September girl in me. But Karen, Karen, this week has been an amazing week because again we've had a group exercise in love, support, and prayer happening across the nation.
Let's talk
You
about
want
that.
to talk about this part here, Miss Karen?
Listen, so for those of you who don't watch, we feel sorry for y'all. Go ahead and catch the replay so you can catch up. But we talked and started the conversation last week about the horrific experience that was televised with Damar, and I'm probably gonna say his name
Hamlin, his
wrong.
name Hamlin, Damar
Hamlin,
Hamlin.
Damar
Hmm.
Hamlin, and him going into cardiac arrest on the field. And I promise you, last week we got into it. We talked about how they allowed prayer on the field. Honey, them brothers was kneeling. Ain't nobody say nothing about that, but because we ain't gonna sweep over that. And the power of when we talk about the NFL nation, for y'all who don't follow football, it's a lot of us, okay? Like we sometimes loud, we sometimes quiet, but it's a lot of people. And the power of prayer and what God allowed. Like a lot of times we talk about a lot of foolishness that happens in the earth, but in that moment, every person from multiple backgrounds knew what to do. Like literally, everybody was in formation. They was like, we sending thoughts and prayers. We praying for this brother. We sending money because we ain't sure whether the NFL gonna come through and pay some bills for what this young man is experiencing. And not only did the outpour come, and I'm sure overwhelmed our young brother with prayer, with love, with encouragement, with support, both financial and emotional support for his family, showing love for his communities. And listen, here's the best part about this. We got an amazing praise report because in a matter of days, we watched the news reports go from this young man being on a ventilator and in ICU with 100% oxygen to 50% to he couldn't talk to then he's talking to then he's tweeting. Come on, y'all. This is the God that we serve. And so to see that in the earth for not just believers, like this wasn't a moment for believers. Let me say this, because in the Bible, God, Jesus would always say, these works are literally for you all to help you believe. But there is a remnant that knew God could do it. So it was like,
Hmm.
Lord, this light work for you. This ain't, we know what the world is looking at, but we believe you for it. And then we started calling on that brother's name. And listen, he got millions of dollars in that GoFundMe for anything that he needs, and a loving heart, a loving family. We talked about the family members. We talked about the mates, the teammates
Hmm.
that were there with them on the field, and how they get to now watch. Because everybody that play football don't believe in God. Like everybody who said, oh, thoughts and good vibes wasn't praying in Jesus' name. But listen, they was praying. And so I don't know
That's
where
it.
they're praying to, but because me, I know it's only going to one place. But God bless y'all. You
Yeah,
don't.
well, hey, some of them ain't ready for that, Karen. They ain't
I
ready.
know. But go ahead and send your prayers up. It's going to get the way it need to go. Okay. But what we saw was a beautiful outpouring of God's love, the grace that we could show each other. Yes, we went right back to bashing each other about our teams within 24 hours as if that thing never happened to bring us together. But never forget the power when we come together and pray. And that was the biggest thing. Because honestly, in this moment, I really know that it was bigger than Damar. It was bigger than this young man who needed to get restoration in his life and in his heart. But God knows literally all of the things that are necessary in our life. And to see the band of football brothers on their knees crying
Hmm.
out, literally, and then God shows up. Some unbeliever somewhere believes this week like never before. They
Yeah.
left 2022 like, I don't care nothing about you or your God. And now here in 2022, it's the only thing that they can really talk about, because you get that moment to say, I don't know nothing about that. I know Leon and I don't even know what the men's choir was, but they will sing the song. It's all God. It's all
Hmm. It's all God.
all God. Like literally, and that part right there, it comes to my mind, and for us to be reminded that, here's the homework. What if we come on one accord for something else and watch the
Oh,
get get resettled in the correct place? But we arguing over stuff. Let's take
no,
some
we
time and pray, because we
yes.
literally are able to create the difference in our communities, in our lives, and in the lives of people. I do not know this young man, but I promise you that I know I'm not the only one that called out his name, called for his family, as if he was at your Thanksgiving table.
Right,
This
like he was everybody cousin that day.
he
He was
was at
everybody cousin that day.
listen, okay? He at that age. That's my nephew. Okay, I be
Mm-hmm.
adopted. Well, I adopt folks until Christmas, and then y'all got to go back to your families.
Right until like two
we
weeks before
we
Christmas and you go back
we
home.
full over there. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
full over here. But literally, super excited and proud of us, not just as Christians. That ain't who I'm proud of. Proud of us as humans to understand
Yes.
that we needed to come together for what was a tragedy, not in all our lives, but in his life and the community that surrounds him. That was an emergency, and we showed up. So, Tilted, I love that we have the feel good reports. I call these my mushy moments. So these
Yes.
moments to say we don't always have to talk about the craziness in the world, because there are good things that are happening if we allow ourselves to be a part of them, to see them, and to literally elevate them into the world. So why? So that we could duplicate, rinse, repeat, and do some more of that. Super excited about that.
Yeah, man. And it's interesting as the world, as humanity came together to pray for this young man. My mind's eye went back to a quick lesson I received from Carl McCullough, Pastor Carl McCullough. We were having a discussion, and he pulled it out of me, something that he needed me to say so others would hear it. And the purpose of having the words up so people could open their mouth, because what happens when they open their mouth and sing? It's the reason why we had to wear masks for 2 years straight. A little mist come up out your mouth. Some people refer to it as spittle, but what happens is all that moisture saturates the atmosphere. So all of these voices calling on God on behalf of this young man, you don't think that it didn't, heaven had to hear that cry. And we are now living, we get to see the evidence of what
Yes.
happens when heaven hears your cry. I believe I heard some of the newscasters report that on Sunday during the Bills game, Brother Man was watching, and he actually set off every alarm possible in the hospital because he jumped up out of the bed, excited about the play that he saw his teammates complete. And congratulations to the Bills. Y'all know I'm actually technically a Giants fan, but congratulations to the Bills is all I'm going to say
We're gonna all
about their
be
win on Sunday.
that part. We're gonna all be Bills fans for this week now.
Yeah, congratulations to the Bills. Y'all,
Yes.
y'all really did it. Y'all the comeback team of this season for real. Because yes, many players on many different team organizations suffered different injuries, experienced different mishaps, but this one here is truly one of the NFL's most memorable moments and truly one for the record books. Let it be recorded on this day that there is power in prayer.
Yes.
Selah. Selah. Yeah, I went there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going chugga, 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 toot, toot. We're going to move the train forward a little bit further because we got a little ways to go, Karen.
Yes, we do.
All right, it's time for that other segment. One of that, our segment, what we do when we be killing and wasting time. It's time to point your remote control at your TV screen. Merrily, 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 find something to stream. You already know what it is. Find something to stream, y'all. It's that segment, merrily, merrily down the stream. Karen, what? have you been watching?
So Jenny and Georgia is back for season 2. If you ain't jumped on season 1, you do that at your leisure. But season 2 is in there. Can I just say I'm a big fan, and I'm gonna try to keep this nice, of Jenny's father. That's all I'm gonna say for that.
Okay.
Nice, gorgeous man.
A little eye candy. Let me write this show
A
down.
little bit,
Excuse me. Go
a little
ahead.
bit. Jenny and Georgia. But the
Jenny
thing
and
is
Georgia.
that, so Jenny and Georgia, teenage girl, mixed race parents, biracial mom, and then another brother, and her mama's a hot mess. Let's just put it right there. Okay. Georgia out here doing all kinds of craziness, po thing. And this season, it actually highlighted a lot about mental health challenges of our young people, and really honed in and focused on how even blended families or divorced or separated families can kind of come together in support of their children. It showed up in a lot of different ways, and also showed kind of reflection of how people could change. Now, if you know anything about Jenny and Georgia, yes, there was more hot mess, and it really focused on, this is the thing about Jenny and Georgia that's real. It focused on the trauma that was experienced by the environments that the mom created in the lives of her children. And so she's got a teenage daughter that's like 16, 17, I don't know, whatever age she is when you're a sophomore. And then a young son that's about like 8 or 9. And last year it was a lot of different things that was going on, where there was anger that came out and people needed some therapy, but also talking about I think it was like 8 or 9, might have been 10 episodes. I don't remember. I happened to be on LinkedIn, and via LinkedIn, they always come up with all different things. And one of the writers of the show mentioned that this was sort of one of his writing debuts of episode 3. Now, I had already I binge watched, so I watched that show in less than 24 hours. So it was like 8 or 10 episodes. I ain't gonna say I wasted my time, because I learned a lot.
No.
I learned a lot, and it came to mind for things to like kind of think about, checking on your friends and reminding them to check on their kids as well. Because a lot of times we'll be on the outside and we show love to folks, but we not always all in their business about what it is that they're doing. So I recommend it. Y'all figure out. They ain't paying me no money, so I'm not gonna tell you which one it was on, but I'm sure y'all will figure out where
Y'all will
to
find it.
watch and chill. And to me, it is not a PG-13 show. It's not it's definitely a grown folks show, but a lot of topics, a lot of drama. Y'all know I always tell y'all, where do I want my drama? On my TV screen. So go ahead on and merrily down the stream and stream that. If you got a weekend, I did it on a Friday night to Saturday, and by Saturday afternoon I was on to whatever the next thing was. But definitely worth the watch. Loved it. And looking forward to season 3. I know they're gonna make us wait another year and a half. That is the only downfall to binge watching.
Girl.
It's like, now I done did it all. Where everybody at? And hopefully everybody will jump in, and it's some good watching. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so now, have you been pointing your remote control to watch anything?
Girl, my watch list gets longer and longer every single day. So maybe one day I'll just, you know what, let me keep that to myself. Anyway, my most recent watch that I
Mhm.
thoroughly enjoyed, I actually watched Dumpling.
Okay.
Yeah, man, Jennifer Aniston stars in it as the mother, and at this point in time, I cannot quite call the young lady who was the lead actress, who was actually Dumpling in the
Danielle
movie.
McDonald.
Okay, what's her name?
Danielle McDonald.
Okay, what I really appreciated about this movie was you got to see the dynamic between a mother and daughter, who were both going through a season of grief because mom lost her sister, who was actually Dumpling's auntie.
Hmm.
And Dumpling's Auntie Lucy and Dumpling, of course, they had a very close relationship. And at one point in the movie, Dumpling had to tell her mama, well, you already know who actually raised me in the moment of strife between the two of them. You get to see that dynamic play out. And then you also see that the mother, who's a former beauty queen, who's still like a notable in their pageant community,
Mm-hmm.
the comparison that's going on and how Dumpling had to deal with her own self-esteem because she didn't have, um, she's not born with the same figure as her mother.
Mm-hmm.
She looked more like her late Aunt Lucy. And these are some thicker sisters. Shout out to us curvy, wavy girls. We be out here representing, doing it. Anyway, yeah, you got to see Dumpling um, do something that was an act of, rebellion, so to speak. She joins the pageant. And that her mama's basically, spearheading and coordinating. And mama's feet was held to the fire, where
Mm-hmm.
she had to put up a shut up and make sure, hey, first of all, you can't dismiss me because, I ain't all skinty.
That.
And then also in the same coin, she couldn't show her daughter favoritism because she was her daughter participating in the pageant. So this movie, there were a lot of different takeaways from it, but I really enjoyed how the movie progressed and the body positivity that
Mm-hmm.
was reinforced through this particular flick. You got to see Dumpling cycle through many memories, many different emotions, and find herself in one of the most unique environments. And thank God for them environments. I've been in them environments a couple times. They're a whole lot of fun and are absolutely electrifying. But Dumpling found herself, and she went out there, and her group of rebellious friends that joined the pageant alongside her, baby, they showed up at that pageant and they showed out. And in this movie, one of the more curvy girls actually took second place,
Okay.
which was absolutely amazing. Y'all know I was sitting there like, "Ooh, my heart is touched." Was a beautiful movie, and I'm grateful that I pressed through the many different times that I actually passed out trying to watch it. I made sure I went back to complete it. Y'all know what happens when Miss Tilted sits still for too long. If I'm not doing something, what am I doing, Karen?
Yeah. You pointing.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep.
It's a,
So this one,
you scrunching up that pillow. That's what you're doing.
all up in the neck, get it in the crook just right. It's on. Okay, so yeah, I've had to learn to watch my movies. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed or sitting up in the chair on the edge of the chair. Can't get too comfortable or it's lights out. So yeah, I highly recommend Dumpling. It's nothing too risque in that movie. You could watch that with your teenage girls, to show them again that even the power of using your voice in different ways, and you don't have to be, violent in order to get your point across.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be violent to get your point across.
Good
Another
stuff.
takeaway from the movie Dumpling.
All
So,
right, Dumpling.
all right, Dumpling. All right, we're gonna move it right along just a little bit further. Chugga chugga chugga.
Mm-hmm.
Chugga chugga chugga. Chugga chugga chugga.
Here we go.
It's time for views from the pedicure. Lord have mercy. I know at the top of the show I said I was gonna be kind, but that's not on the show. I have to be kind out there, but on the show, this is my platform. This is where I get to relax, relate, release. And right now, I got a question. Can anybody give me the phone number to the grocery czar?
The
Somebody
grocery
need to.
store.
Is there a grocery czar? Somebody out there that's you know helping to manipulate these inflationary prices at the grocery store? I'm coming for the grocery czar right now. If this is an imaginary title, those of you who are watching the show, if you know the title of the person I need to write this letter to, go on and put it in the comments. I think we all need this information because I had a moment at the store the other night, Karen.
Okay. Do
I
share.
was just I was just looking, surveying my area, and I happened to notice that one particular gum was on sale. Two for $8. How was that a sale for some bubble gum? And all I could think to myself was, well, I hope that gum holds its flavor for at least 3 hours. For two for $8 was the sale. So of course, I had to get in there on the unit price. I was like,
Right.
what? And then the price for one was actually $4.39. Where they get this gum from, Karen?
Is it CBD gum? I don't
It ain't laced with nothing but sugar. It ain't laced with nothing but sugar, Karen. It ain't even no,
I
no,
really
no.
don't know how to answer that.
And I got a problem with the grocery czar right now. Somebody get him. Tell him Tilted Halo looking for him. All right, because again, I'm in this store and I'm in the environment where I get to hear conversation after conversation from many different people, many different walks of life, from the uttermost to the guttermost, and everybody is singing the same song. Shout out to Digital Underground. Everybody is singing the same song about the price of everything.
Yeah.
You can't hardly find nothing underneath $4 in the grocery store, Karen.
Well, I want to tell you that I was just thinking this morning, Tilted, of how wealthy I must be. And
Girl.
I'm gonna tell you why I believe that I'm wealthy. And our followers are gonna keep up with this. Honey, I purchase my eggs 30 at a time.
That's math. That's math.
I must
Mm-hmm.
be wealthy. Yes. I purchase
Listen,
my eggs 30 at a time.
Karen got them things, y'all. Karen got them things. Go get you some.
It ain't the car. It ain't even the salary, honey. It ain't whether I got my hair and nails done. I buy my eggs by the 30 pack. Y'all can't tell me I'm rolling up in there with eggs on everything. Okay?
She's sitting on egg dubs.
Listen. Okay. Now, you got money over there? Well, I did have money. I ain't got nothing no more. But I buy my eggs 30 at a time.
She balling. Cause
Y'all
girl,
popping
I'm scanning
bottles, I'm
eggs.
cracking eggs. Y'all popping bottles, I'm cracking eggs. Okay, this it probably costs the same at this particular point.
Okay, girl. I was like, why cost a small mortgage to get some eggs? Why is these
Well,
12 eggs $9, Jesus?
that part,
Somebody
I
called
am
a grocery
wealthy.
czar. Somebody called a grocery czar. The people have had enough. The
I'm
people
wealthy.
have had enough. So
I
y'all,
feel like we here. Like who getting the chickens? You know, we already on the vegetables. We growing something in the garden. We growing something in the kitchen. Now we got to get the chickens and produce the eggs in the backyard. I don't know nothing about no chicken. I know I'm down here in North Carolina, so I probably could. I'm just not about that life.
you're not about that chicken coop life.
I'm gonna go to my wealthy place and buy me
Okay.
my 30 pack of eggs.
That's because
Literally.
you
If you
balling
want
like
to know
that.
where my
Listen.
wealthy place is, it's over there at the 30 counter of eggs. Now don't ask me to put 5 on nothing because I done told you. I done spent all my money on the
On
egg.
egg.
That part. So
Well, shout out to my egg dealer. I got a friend that's the plug. Praise God. Hey, I felt that thing. Shout out to my egg plug. She actually
okay,
does
egg
raise
plug.
chickens. I got the egg plug, y'all.
I like
Very
egg
rarely does
plug.
Miss Tilted have to pay for eggs. I just want you to
I
know,
like
sweetie
it.
face, I appreciate you. I know you're probably gonna peruse the video. I hope Tati, I love you, girl. Thank you for them eggs, girl. Because of you,
It's a thing.
look, I can afford to get the gas to get back and forth to work for a week because of your donation. Girl, I thank you for the eggs.
It really you know we laughing about it.
Girl, we
Okay.
laughing, but it
But
is so serious.
I don't know what it takes to so I think of my family, mom, 5 children.
Girl,
They not seeing no eggs. They gonna eat. I don't know what they gonna eat because everything got eggs
they
in
eating a
it.
lot of tacos and pasta. That's what they eat.
Okay, that's what, and some rice on the side. Y'all gonna get some
Yeah.
rice and
And
tomatoes.
potatoes. Potatoes is flying
Potatoes,
off the shelf.
potatoes. Because we got to like literally at least they'll. I used to. So parents, here's a trick for you. I would double starch my children. And you'd ask, why would you double starch? Because if you double starch them kids and get them, a swig of some Kool-Aid or juicy juice, whatever y'all
They
drinking,
swell up in their belly and they full.
and they think they full, but then you got to hurry up and get them to bed. Okay,
Yeah.
you got to hurry up because that starch gonna bring them up and smash them back down.
Smash it on down, and they're gonna be back scrounging for more.
That's my view. You want to get them kids. You don't need no melatonin. You don't need no Benadryl or whatever y'all do with the kids over there.
Get them some noodles.
Get them some. Literally, do rice and potatoes, noodles, and another carb. You listen. Double charge these. Now sit them outside the play so that they don't, get stuck in the chair and turn into a couch potato. Because if you double starch them, you already know that may or may not lead to some other challenges. But make them exercise in the day. They're going to run around somewhere. You're going to double starch them at night. Dinner should be at 7 to 7:30 so that they can get into bed no more than 30 to 40 minutes later. And they will go to bed thinking that they was never hungry. Double starch them children.
Double starch them children, y'all. But there are ways, I actually started watching a little bit more of what's happening on the TikTok, and on YouTube as well. There are thousands upon thousands of people who produce videos on how to make meals on a budget, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I got this wonderful recipe from this wonderful Southern woman who done showed me how to make biscuits. This woman has showed me another way to make biscuits. I already know how to make them 3 ways, but this might be my new favorite way because of what she did. It's only 2 ingredients. And if you all would like the ingredients, two ingredient recipe for these here biscuits and the very specific directions, go on, hit my inbox. But you be mindful of how you speak to me because we're trying to let our words drip honey and extend grace. But y'all already know it could be whatever. Mm-hmm. Hence the title of this segment, Views from the Petty View.
Views from the Petty Pew. I feel like it's more to talk about in the views of the Petty Pew. And I don't know if we missed anything.
Girl, I'm getting ready to go there. The whole world is abuzz right now. Because this could have been on what's real. No, can we talk about the spare? Can we talk about the spare? Because we had started talking about them Royals on our last.
We did.
Can we talk about the spare?
We could talk about it. I'm gonna let you lead this one because I don't think.
Listen, that's Prince Harry's tell-all book. The title of the book is, I'm calling it a tell-all, but it's actually a memoir. It is titled Spare, written by the Duke. Oh, well, they done stripped him of his title at this point. This Prince Harry, Meghan Markle husband.
Feel like he's still going by Duke of Sussex. So if you look up Spare, it does say Spare is a memoir by Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, which was released just today. Okay, today.
Wow.
Now, if you got an early copy, of course, we always get the opportunity to dig in there. But I love me some Prince Harry. I promise you. He the dude, and I'm about to go get this on Audible because I'm about to.
Yeah, because I need it on Audible too. I don't have enough time to really sit and turn pages. But I'm gonna listen to that joint.
I really don't. But I got so many credits because I be forgetting, and I'm very. I want the expensive books.
Yeah.
When I do Audible, I don't want the books that. $10. I'm gonna buy them myself. I want
I got
20 plus books, and then them the ones that I'm going.
Yeah, I hold them credits.
I'm going on over there, and
I think I used my most recent last credit for Michelle Obama's new book.
I didn't get the new one, so she's
she got a new one out there, girl. She got a new one out there.
She's on my list. But as we speak, because listen. In 2023, it's no time like the present. We ain't got time for no to-do list. They're nice and everything. Y'all know I promote that all day long. But here's the challenge with all of that. We got to find the time to do it. So if you got a moment to do something, go ahead on and do like Karen from Twisted Threads is doing. And while we talking, I don't use my credit to go ahead and download Spare. Why? Because I want to know what he talking about.
He putting all the royal business in the
I
streets,
love it.
and
I'm here
from
for
his
it.
perspective and from his experience growing up royal.
Love it.
All right. I had one of my coworkers say to me that she did not think that the marriage was going to last between he and Meghan. And I said, I beg to differ, sweetheart. Anytime you renounce your royal throne, you need to understand he done signed up for life. This ain't for fun. This ain't for optics.
Oh,
Not only did he leave the palace to protect his wife, he did that from what I understand now at this juncture in time, that he did that to protect himself and his own mental health. I
that
mean, not for
part.
nothing, Karen, you and I, when we co-authored the depths and diversity within relationships, we have the collective testimony that it is very therapeutic to write your memoir.
It could save a life, like for real. For
Hmm.
real, it's that deep. It could literally save a life, but you got to go through it. You got to be a part of it. I need you to know. Yeah, that's
Right. And of course, the British media is doing what it does because
yeah,
they are famous for bashing anything or any situation or
that's true.
anyone that
That's
will
true.
raise their voice against the royals.
That is true.
They have existed behind this iron wall for centuries. And now, of course, we've already known that this was going to be the generation that would change the game. Well, honey, Prince Harry, the spare heir, has come out
Yeah,
guns ablazing. And I can only imagine the legions of wealthy young adults he is freeing to tell their own stories in this moment. So yeah, that's my addition to the petty pew conversation.
I
Because
love
right
it.
now, Prince Harry is petty LaBelle right now. He is petty deluxe.
I,
He is
you
petty on
know,
fleek.
I just feel like it actually is. It seems like it's vindicating him from some things of, he's been followed for so much, and he tired of them. He tired of
Hmm.
it. Like, this is what happens when you push the right person, I think, just a tad bit too far. And so he gets the opportunity to say, you know what, when I comes up, which I'm not gonna do. And having watched one version of the story, I know it's multiple versions of Harry and Meghan and the things that they came through. Him denouncing, stepping away from his familial throne, that's a till death do us part. Like, you ain't going nowhere after I do this. It's me and you, girl. Need you to know it's us. We about to roll. If the wheels fall off, we gonna crawl down
We
this
just
hill.
gonna crawl.
That's it. Just keep on rolling. Like, it ain't no separation for this. But I applaud him for that, because it just could have gone another way. I'm glad that he's getting the opportunity to tell as many versions of his story, because it's not that it's just scandalous. That's not the part. This is a part that this is a young man, that I don't feel like most people cared what his experience was without his mother. Like, literally the same tactics were what were used that caused him to lose his mother. And we see him as the royal. We see him, like you said, as the spare heir. That's something. Um,
Hmm.
we see him as all of these things, but this is a young man that we wrote thousands of stories about him. But did anybody ever try to get to know who he was outside of
Yeah.
the scandal, outside of the infamous stories? And I agree, Donnell, you coming through. Appreciate you on tonight.
Shout out to Auntie.
Yeah, shout out to Auntie sending all the prayers, and go ahead, Nurse D, do your thing, do your thing. But the firm has met his match with Prince Harry, because he ain't standing for it. And this is something that it's not that it's brand new for the British publications and their journalism folks, but they haven't had it at this level. before. So, if you try to fight them, these are things where you see, oh, they're gonna come up missing and something else is going on. Harry don't care.
Not one bit.
Literally, if I don't care was a person, Harry would
Harry
at
would
least
be
be taking the temporary picture right there.
posed up like this, like they used to do with Olin Bills, like this.
That right there. There you
That would
go.
be
The
just like
extra
that.
graduation picture. Like we're gonna get
Yep. Just wait, wait.
there you go.
Remember that pose?
Look away, look away. I love it.
But yeah, it kind of feels like Views from the Petty Pew tonight has melded into what's really going on.
A little bit, because this is what's going on.
Yeah, this is kind of what's going on.
Went
That was the perfect segue to let the petty party keep on going. Girl,
Love it.
girl. Hey, y'all, if y'all tuning in, get close. We finna talk. We finna talk about the Bling Bishop.
I'm telling. I'm here to tell. I'm telling. Okay.
We telling on the Bling Bishop. Now, I was trying not to give him no views, but I do go over to his little metaverse space every now and again and check his numbers, and they have fallen dramatically since he was arrested by the FBI.
Say what, girl?
What? He was arrested.
What you say now?
Girl. Girl, look, he got locked up, but they let him out. But they let him out. He got locked up, but they let him out. Listen, Bishop Lamar Whitehead, the Bling Bishop.
Yes, the Bling
that we got. We became familiar with because the church got robbed live, and then all of a sudden, he came out defending himself. And of course, he made himself a spectacle, and with the intention, I believe, of capitalizing on this 15 minutes of fame, right? So, he came out after quite a few different bloggers. In his momentary insanity, he actually challenged, what was it, Floyd Mayweather to a fight in the boxing ring. Y'all knew that boy was ready to die. Shout out to Brooklyn, where he's from, and then not for nothing, he has done some years on the yard behind prison bars. Anyway, let me go back to this particular story. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about this a couple weeks back, but old boy got indicted on a couple federal charges, and one of my favorite bloggers, that he actually had came for, had put it out there, but had not put it all the way on blast, because the way he does his show on his particular platform is he doesn't talk about anything that hasn't already been released to the public, similar to what we do here at the Unhinged Show Live. Listen, come to find out that vlogger that he tried to come for was absolutely correct, and he did have all the receipts that he claimed to have, because that's what led up to, and that was what was written, because I had to go find all them documentations, because they are public record. Well, see why they took him down for stealing money from his parishioners. $90,000 of some woman's retirement money, and then another person he swindled for what, $5,000, and tried to get an additional $50,000 campaign contribution. And he wasn't even running for office. Listen, it does not pay to be out here, showboating in the name of the Lord, because at the end of the day, God will always take the opportunity to show you exactly who you are and who he is as well. And what I've noticed in particular, when he came up out the pokey this time, I ain't seen too much bling around the bishop's neck.
Oh no, I'm not. Now listen, when the feds come and get you, this ain't on the block. Okay, let's put that right out there. When the feds roll through, number one, it is a different level of offense. Federal inmates are different. Don't you come up in there with no carrot and think they ain't gonna turn you into the whole cake. Okay.
Come on.
So don't come through there with he had some sense in that regard. And I'm sure some counsel came to him and said, you better look broke. You better look broke. Now here's the challenge though, because he was released. Um Personal recognizance bond of $500,000. So we know, you got to do your 10% and whatnot, all that money. I don't know where that money came from. Well, maybe some of y'all don't know. So I'm not going to assume that y'all don't know how to, y'all carry yourself over to the bail's bondsman. Maybe you ain't about that life and you don't know nothing about it. But hallelujah, the Lord hath delivered. But to know that information is also the question of, so what are you doing? Because these are two totally different, unrelated things that was going on. So Tilted, what you said, a lot of times people want eyes on themselves, and you got to be careful and make sure, one, that there is some level of humbleness that you bring into the people. Two, that is God's timing. Because if you go out here in these social media, internet streets, and God didn't say so, they gonna eat you alive. Okay. And I'm gonna share some things when we get off of here, because we're gonna talk a little bit about our sister, friend, cousin in our head, Tabitha Brown. When you move when God says so.
Yes.
You can have a plan on it's on your side, and this, Lord, this what I want. But then there's a whole nother thing that happens when you say, well, Lord, I'm gonna wait on you. I know I got this book in me, and shout out to and I call her Mom Hazel Clark, Apostle.
Hey.
Hazel Clark, and I love her because she always gives a word of encouragement. And she's like, a lot of times we got to stop saying that, oh, I'm late, or I took too long, or I'm taking too long. And she remind me often that God's time is different than ours. So if it feel like you late, go ahead on and put a prayer through, and God will let you know, no, let me reset your alarm clock so that yours matches mine. I don't know why I said that there, but
That's a good thing.
I think we still sending thoughts and prayers to the Bling Bishop, because may he keep good sense, or better sense, because how this all started didn't show no sense. So
None
we need
whatsoever.
him in 2023 to come on and get some more of that wisdom, that knowledge, and be humble in the places where you need to be. Don't do it. Them feds ain't. That
You
ain't
on the Fed's radar. They ain't never letting you go, brother.
they
That's
not
for life.
like you in a different realm now, and now you are in the same company as people you just don't want to be in company with. Like
Not
I
at
don't
all.
know what his game plan was. I don't know what he was trying to do with all of this, but I would beg to say this wasn't what he thought he was signing up
This
for.
ain't what he wanted. This ain't what
This
he
ain't
wanted.
what he wanted. This ain't what he wanted. Nope. Nope. This
Mm-mm.
ain't what he wanted. This ain't what he wanted. So now, I want to segue a little bit, because we don't
Go
talk
ahead, my
about.
sister. Go ahead.
And so we're gonna segue a little bit. Tabitha Brown. If you don't know her, well, then you literally have been hibernating for about a year or so, and I don't know what to tell you. But a super shout out to her as she's
Yes.
celebrating the launch of her vegan food and home product line at Target. And it's one of those things that, if Tab, she just is a joy tsunami and a vibe all by herself, like that, just all in it. But I love it because I've been following her, and apparently we gotta go shopping so we can get some
Girl,
vegan
I got to
food.
go get some of them vegan snacks and that cute little snack set she
That
got on the
part,
shelf.
listen,
Uh-huh.
she out here, and Target got so okay. Well, they ain't paying us no check or nothing like that, so I'm gonna stop saying their name. But it's a lot of stuff that's over there, and it's people that we know that's over there, and they got the little grocery tote, and they got all of the food. I'm interested in some of the, how I'm not really a meatless alternative type person. Let me just say that. I don't care nothing about y'all fake meat. I would rather eat vegetables.
Just yeah.
That's just me. But for those of you who are looking for alternatives, there's definitely some alternatives there. It's some opportunity for you to get all different types of food. But here's the thing that really is kicking for me, because it's not like, we're brand ambassadors to bring this stuff out, but I love seeing the joy that she spreads when she is celebrating all of these things. So it's not just, okay, well, I'm doing this and everybody go out and buy my stuff. But there is a level of joy that comes along with her that is just special. And it kind of gives you the thought of, okay, so how do I support? Like the closer I'm getting to this vegan food is the popcorn, and I will give a shot to the hummus and the vegan cream cheese. That's as far as I'm going. Let me just
Shout
say
out to hummus. I love me some
that.
hummus.
I'm
Hmm.
I'm here all day for the hummus. You got some garlic spread that maybe I might put some tuna in there. We're gonna do something else. We gonna do all of that. We're gonna do all of that meat alternative. I ain't doing that. But I'm
No, we
here
ain't
for it.
touching
I
it.
think they got some pasta. I'm here for it. So I'm about to go. Now, when I get there, I want to know who all shopping over there. Because who all eating all this vegan stuff? They got vegan pickled okra. I don't even know what that means.
First of
I,
all, I know what one thing it does mean to me. Shout out to you okra lovers, but I'm not touching no pickled okra. I don't touch okra on a regular life day to day basis. No. But go ahead. No.
I'm here for the pasta. I am here for the pasta. I need you to know you could put just about anything in the pasta and I'm gonna eat it. I'm her. Okay. To thine own self be true. But some of this other stuff, y'all on your own. Y'all on your own. But I want to give a shout out because I think that this is the time of year that many of us try to make changes to our diet. I'm literally, I'm gonna get me some portobello mushrooms and we're gonna do some stuff with it. I'm not doing none of this. I'm afraid of alternative meat.
Yeah, all I do is read them labels and the amount of sodium in that stuff.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid. All of the things.
I'm not convinced
I'm
at
not.
all.
I know, but I'm
Mm-mm.
here for the veggies. If you gonna show me, I know she got a cookbook because she do all of that stuff. So I could do the regular cookbook, where we take in actual products and doing things. I'm not eating all of that stuff, but she's got some beautiful stuff over there. Go ahead on and support the sister because she definitely gives all of the positive energy, and we gonna spend this money on something. So might as well. Go when you walk through. But I hear they got taste testing and all this other type of stuff. I feel like we should have took a trip to Los Angeles because they getting all of the things over there. They
Oh
getting all
yeah.
the things over there. So shout out to all of the food and the meats. And one of the things that I think is significant for this is that these things always take a long time. They've been in the works for a long time, and then we see the launch. So we don't see all of the work that it took for her to get here. But just a couple of months ago, she was in the news for having to walk away from the Food Network.
Yes.
She wasn't
Because
ready.
they wanted her to change who she was. And she was not willing to do that in order to, get them the ratings they thought her show would bring. She gonna bring ratings to wherever she go because she walks with that glow that comes from
That
Abba Father, honey. And ain't
part.
no turning down. This her season. And
That
if again, like you said earlier, Karen, if you've been anywhere but under a bushel, you know Tabitha's journey to get to the place where she is right now. They sacrificed all for a dream. Her
that part.
husband made sure she met her predestined moment
Right.
in time where everybody basically in the world knows who Tabitha Brown is. So now, again, over the last year or so, we know that she has now given her husband the opportunity to retire himself. And now they both out here grinding together, living the life that sacrifice brings.
That part.
That they sacrifice a lot, and that's what happens with faith. A lot of stuff is being done behind the scenes that no one
Yeah.
knows about. I was listening to a broadcast on my way home from work earlier today, and one of the things that was said is you see all these people on YouTube, you see them on TV, you see them on Instagram, and what you don't realize is they have been grinding 7, 8, 10, some 15 years before they even became well known in the spotlight.
Part.
And anybody who grows anything knows how light is important to growing something from its sprouting state, right?
Yeah.
It has to be watered properly. It has to be exposed to a certain amount of light in order for it to reach its full maturation, to render that one thing that it was being grown to render. So shout out to Sister Tab, Auntie Tab, as many of us like to refer to her. Shout out to Auntie Tab for now what was being done in the dark is on full display in the light. And baby, she is mature enough and humble enough to walk it out with nothing but grace and that big old beautiful smile on her face. Not
Yeah.
only does she have the product line in the Target, Sister Tab got some things on the shelf over at the Ulta Beauty as well.
Yes, let's talk about it. Come through.
Yes, she just released and
Diamond.
we all here for it.
Yeah.
I've heard some wonderful things about her sweet potato leave-in,
All right now.
and everything. And I'm slick Willie today because I just didn't feel like it. It was the easiest thing to do is to pull it back in the bun. But honey, I'm all about my conditioning game, and making sure that my curls stay, properly prepared. And that thing is laced with sweet potato. And if you know the power of a sweet potato, you know, Tab is selling it in a bottle just for your
That part.
She's got this full line, not just the leave-in conditioner. There's a moisturizing shampoo. There's also a moisturizing conditioner. And I can imagine there's quite a few other products in her line that I can't discuss at this moment because I'm looking at the clock and I'm also having an issue over here. I'm fanning out. I know y'all looking at me and y'all seem like, what is going on over there with Miss Tilted? Look, one of my favorite prophets is fitting to be live, and I'm committed to the Tilted Halo tribe. So, he ain't on yet. So yeah.
That part. 10 more minutes and we're gonna be over there. Listen.
10 more minutes. I gotta get this word, y'all. I'm sorry. See, but I'm not gonna apologize.
Not at all. You're not. We are not.
But yeah, Tab is out here doing big things. And she's literally leaving us another blueprint of what it is to make sure you die empty, having tried it all. Throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. Not for nothing. This is what has birthed every single thing that I've been blessed to bring to you all through the Tilted Halo brand in itself. I'm sitting there, having been blessed, given a show, and I'm sitting there like, well, Lord, I don't even know what I'm doing. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't understand what would work. So all I could think was that one line from the movie, from the Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. So I used that, little echo in my heart and just started throwing stuff at the wall, and this was sticking out the gate. I was like, oh, word, that worked. Well, let me try it again. Well, what happened if I put this piece of stank on it? And what happened? And next thing you know, we got the Tilted Halo tribe. Shout out to that boy AP, Natural D, and of course, somewhere off in the casino, Audrey Dindy, High Tower, and of course, most recently debuted the TH3, Natural D, Twisted Threads, Karen Sims, and your girl Tilted. 3 of the dopest chicks to ever do it. So try, y'all. Try. What did you post the other day, Karen? About not
take a break, take a nap. Okay, get you some rest. Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare quit. Don't you quit.
Don't you dare quit.
Listen, we got news just in because apparently Natural D is flipping channels while she watching and listening, or she doing something.
Angela Bassett just won a Golden Globe for Black Panther.
Come through. I you? I googled it because we fact check over here.
Yes.
4 minutes this was released, so I don't know what Natural D doing, but she right on it. 4 minutes ago, Ford Magazine, Entertainment Tonight, all them things. Listen, congratulations to a queen in her own right, literally in real life, for her portrayal of Queen in Black Panther, Wakanda
Yes.
Forever. If you haven't seen it, go ahead on and find. I don't know where it is now, but go ahead on and find that thing there because she played that part. Let me just tell
Yes,
you.
she
Okay?
did. Yes, she did.
The whole thing. And there's so many lines as a mother that I take from just that movie of how she interacted with her children and encouraged them and pushed them forward and pulled them back sometimes. So all of the things. Congrats, Angela. Love that hot off
Congrats.
the press information. So
And
appreciate your contribution, Natural D. Even though we can't see your face, you definitely, your presence is being felt. So we love
yeah,
you.
she the care pastor right now. She got on her care pastor hat right
Care
now.
pastor. Okay.
Yeah, she got her care
You got
pastor
all
on. You know
kinds
that's
of,
one of her gifts. She's
I
very
do.
nurturing and very
I
caring.
do. I do.
But yeah, thank you for giving us that. I love to be able to bring the news live, hot off the press. That's why we
There
do
you
what we
go.
do, the way we do it here at the Unhinged Radio Show live. And not for nothing, Queen Angela is another example of grinding for years.
Yeah.
Grinding for years. We were introduced to her when I believe she was on some network television show. And then we got to know her and her movie husband, Lawrence Fishburne. We got to see them in Boys in the Hood. And then we got to see them come back and play Ike and Tina Turner. And
So
What's Love
they
Got to Do with
did.
It?
That's right. That's
And we have watched this queen
we
keep
have.
herself relevant, keep herself
Yeah.
fiercely fly,
Yeah.
honey, because this got some serious
Yeah.
gums and is serving all body.
Listen,
Okay.
she's still
She is
slaying
serving it.
in the series 911. We remember her from Waiting to Exhale, burning up stuff.
Yes.
We remember her playing Michael Jackson's mama. You know good. You know good. Anyway,
I
I
don't
love me
want
some
you.
Angela
Oh,
Bassett.
I
Listen,
don't want you.
I don't want you no more. I love her. I love her. Listen, you don't know acting till you see Angela. If you ain't never seen Angela, some of y'all new to the ride. Maybe y'all don't watch the same films that we do. But go ahead on over and find you a film for Angela. Because when she flicked that cigarette after she done turned that car upside down and burned all that stuff, didn't care. My favorite part probably out of any movie was when those police came to her door and she was like, they was like, ma'am, you could only burn trash. She said, that's
She was like,
what
it
it
is.
is. I burn the trash. Don't care nothing about y'all. And dared them to take, honey, she shut her door. She didn't care nothing about the
She
police.
just went right back in the house, like, okay, your
That
point.
girl, that woman could act. I can't even say that girl. That queen right there. Okay. That's what I got.
Oh yeah. So shout out to Queen Angela Bassett, and shout
Yes.
out to you, Karen, and those of you who just continuing to hang on in there with us here at the Unhinged Show Live. It has definitely been a fun ride on tonight. We have covered so much and covered it all. And can I tell some of my personal business right now?
Come through.
Girl, it smell like a whole seafood boil in this house right now. I'm about to go down and break some crab legs. Anyway, I'm blessed.
All right. All right.
Who making a crab boil on a Tuesday but Tilted?
Listen,
Anyway,
I know better. So we're not waiting for special occasions. Like we live
no.
in like
I woke up this morning. It's a special occasion. I'm doing me.
listen, I'm just telling you, we get into the time, and so I'm excited. We almost closing out, sis, because I got
Yeah, we
something.
about to close out because I got to get down there with these crab legs
I need
and
you.
listen to Prophet Lovey.
Listen.
Um, while I'm eating this sausage and this corn and these shrimp. All right. So without further delay, y'all already know what it is. You're about to be blessed and have some wonderful, glorious wisdom nuggets delivered to you by our very own in-house master life coach, Miss Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. Take it away.
Listen, sis, I'm happy to be here to share with you all these reflections of purpose. And we always come through with the title, today's title, Learning to Fight. Now, Tilted, you started to kind of dip in a little bit. And I was like, ooh, I better grab this one now before she take it all the way there. Learning to fight. And one of the things we want to remind ourselves is that I'm not talking about fist fighting, but I am talking about learning how to fight for the fight of our lives, the ability to live, the opportunity to not wait for a special occasion, to go ahead on and have your seafood boil on Tuesday if that's what's going to make your heart happy. I need you to know that a lot of us, some of us have learned to fight out in the streets. Some of us learned to fight with the help of legislative and people coming through. And then some of us had to figure it out on our own. Well, today we want to give you a tip. Literally figure out the things you want to set as priority in your life. What do you want your life to look like? Maybe 2022, your life was turned upside down. You might be in the middle of a whole life makeover similar to me. Listen, I got a good job. I'm driving something, but there are other things that are coming. You know, for me, it's a new last name sometime. We're going to figure that out. I don't know. But whenever it is, it's how do you merge these things together and get adults to come together? Is it a new job that you just started, or you are have that on your agenda to do? All of those things, we gotta learn how to fight for our life. And here's one of the things that allows us to push forward in that fight. Learn how to pray, learn how to hush sometimes, learn how to walk away, learn how to speak life and liberty into your own life. And remember this is a mantra that I want to take a little bit further. We often hear mind over matter, but I'm going to take it a step further and say mind over matter allows you to mind what really matters. That means, what are you putting your attention to? Those are the things that are going to yield and benefit your life. So if it's not feeding you, I promise you it's enough for you to go ahead on, push it to the side, and then focus on the things that are going to make an impact in your life and the lives of the people you love and in the communities that you're connected with. Listen, Karen Sims from Twisted Threads, excited that I'm able to give you just a word to keep you going on through your day. And that's your reflections of purpose today. Tilted.
I love it. I love it. And as usual, you and I are flowing on the same plane. And I've got to give y'all my just be. Just be. I need y'all this week to just be tenacious. That's right. Be tenacious. And of course, I'm sitting here looking up the dictionary because sometimes we need to make sure we make things plain and give you an understanding of why I encourage you to be just be with these one word statements. To be tenacious is as an adjective, holding fast, characterized by keeping a firm hold, highly retentive, persistent, stubborn, or obstinate, adhesive or sticky, viscous or gluttonous. Okay, check it out. Let's go on and use some synonyms. I like forceful. Okay, I like persistent. Here's another one since we are in the month of January, resolute. Just be tenacious as you pursue every goal you've laid out for yourself, the vision you've laid out for your family in the year 2023. Because again, so many other people have confirmed it. 2023 is going to be stress free for you and for me. So tonight, I want to go ahead and encourage you all to just be. It's your girl, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads. Got anything else, Karen?
Listen, I think we are closing out with just an amazing show. And I'm just going to say, that's a wrap. How about that?
It's a wrap. And we out. Peace.